Hello everyone, Manthral here, and welcome to the weekly update video. Now you may be wondering, okay, why was there not a video yesterday? Well, that is because yesterday was actually a European holiday. I believe it's called a bank holiday. I believe. I could be wrong, but there was a holiday for the European countries, so there was no update yesterday because, well, they didn't work. So, today we get the update, and today it's the Ninja Week update. So a lot of patch notes, that kind of stuff going on, but usually some pretty good stuff. First up, the Jagexa, however they said it. But anyway, that was just through April Fools. It's not anything. Although I will say it did look pretty sweet with the blue glow. But you know that was just their thing. And it says on that farm, we'll get to the patch notes. That's going to continue with all the ninja notes too. But it says on that farm. It says you've probably seen it bounce around the forums or Reddit and Twitter. But they have a bumper competition going at the moment. Be sure to check it out. And there's a link right there for you to go ahead and check it out on the main page of RuneScape. Or if you so much as have them followed on Reddit and Twitter. The player gallery Pieces of Hate. It's the last chance to enter the competition, so enter if you so desire. Lootescape this week is still going to be the clue scrolls yet, shockingly. Usually they switch it up before it actually gets started. But probably because today is the first stream and it's the first day of the week for them. That's why they didn't change it over quite yet. But remember, the clue scroll will be based off of your total level and is a guaranteed drop. But do remember, you can only collect, I believe, one per month. You might be able to collect multiples of those ones, though, but I'm not entirely sure. However, on Tuesday, April 3rd, which is today, there was a live stream at 1600 UTC, which was April the month ahead Q&A. Yeah, that was kind of already missed. But Sunday on April 8th at 1800 UTC, game time is PVM with Mod Lee. So do keep that in mind. And there is, of course, community events throughout the whole week. So do keep and check those out during the time clock in-game. You can check them out and then go to them as you so desire. So now we're going to head into the patch notes and the entire thing. And as you can see, there's a pretty big chunk, but it should be pretty good. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit more. This way in case you guys want to read along with me. Alright, so Haggerty no longer has glitchy green hands over his gloves. Fix the broken animation in the Great Brain Robbery Shantae recap. Polycolors have been added to the whale. And hanging sailfish at the deep sea fishing hub. Quest challenges and achievements. Fixed an issue that prevented the ability to continue the quest Ritual of the Majorette. Added the ability to reclaim the reward lamps from the quest Ritual of the Majorette if destroyed, allowing the use of them at a later date. Corrected Smith's description of Brass Hand Harry. Corrected stat and animation visibility on Captain Donnie's crew zombies. Yeah, they were not there. Teleporting to Brain Death Island via the Dungeoneering Cape and Horde Stalker Ring can now continue Pieces of Hate when required to visit. Skills D&D's of minigames. Imp Hide Hood has been corrected to Imp Hide Hood on the Master Clue Scroll. A broadcast has been added when a player receives Vinny from the Wisp of the Grove, D&D. The Wisp caught during the Wisp of the Grove, D&D, now have a left-click option to catch them. Achievement Fill Them All will no longer reset every time you remove items from a hidey hole. Agility Arena tickets looted from Pirate Implinks are now placed in the currency pouch. Changed Dagon High to Dagon High for the Master Tier clues, which is just, instead of a dash, it's a hyphen, I believe. Corrected a grammar error in an easy clue scroll located in Sithrid Abbey. Corrupted Ore will now open the Make X interface when you left click on a furnace. Fixed a typo on the hidey hole location log where floor was referred to as a flute where the observatory was concerned under the medium section. Fix a typo in hidey hole locations window for the hidey hole at Edgeville Monastery. Remove the duplicate "the" from the heart scan clue text. Wanging success messages can now be filtered. You may now use Soul Talisman, Tiara, Omni Talisman Staff, Soul Talisman Staff, or the Wicked Hood if you've unlocked it on the Soul Altar, to open the fountain to access the Soul Altar beneath Menaphos. The Stalker creature changes. The damage against magic creatures when using the Hex Hunter bow has increased from 10% to 12.5%. The base accuracy of the Hex Hunter bow has been increased by 10%. Elite Soul Gazers will now roll 3 times on a regular loot table. When attacking a monster which deals magic damage with your Hex Hunter bow, it will now display an icon on the monster bar which lets you know that your damage bonus is working against them. A missing description on the Augmented Tectonic Robetop Blood has reappeared in the More Info panel of the Invention interface. Corrected the spelling in the Brimhaven/Shiloh Village cart transport system. Drinking from a heated tea flask stored in the bank now works as expected. Fixed as an issue where setting up action bars on the ability bar caused the game to still think you were on Tutorial Island. Poor Armor now displays correct D-grade tooltip. The Stuffed Wilderness Slayer contracts dropping to the floor in PvP combat. Thank you webpage pop-up no longer appears on a character customization when you create a new character. The special attack refund will no longer be affected by adrenaline boosts. You can no longer re-augment an already augmented item. It is now possible for augmented items to that degrade to an inert state listed below to reach item level 20 by combining them with another copy to recharge them. The following rules apply. Remaining charge of the two will be combined and any excess is lost. Perks are retained, transferred. Only one of the copies may have perks when combining. The greatest item XP of the two items is retained. They aren't combined. Dyed objects require the non-dyed variant, and the resultant object remains dyed. That is in bold. Affected augmented items that you can combine. Augmented Serenic Harbor chaps and dyed variants. The Malevolent Curse, Greaves and dyed variants. Tectonic Robe top and bottom dyed variants. Refined anima core bodies of legs and legs of Saren, Zeres, Zamrock, and Sliske. Superior legs, tops, legs, and weapons of Zerial, Statius, Vesta, and Morrigan. Setting fires on Tutorial Island is now prevented by adjacent blocking. Some blocking tiles have been removed from the survival skills area of Tutorial Island. The Bombi Boss Pet Familiar Override can now be recolored. This is done by right-clicking the pet in the pet's interface and selecting the recolor option. The visual option will now allow you to change your skybox filter anywhere you like except for Raxor's Cave. The ice-dyed variants of Sliske's Staff of Sliske, Saren Godbow, and Zere's Godsword will now correctly show their untradeable wealth value in the Wealth Evaluator interface. The Master Camouflage outfit will now display, if the text by their name, how many strikes your elf clan has given you when using it to teleport. The mining tutor on the Tutorial Island now checks your worn equipment but for the bronze dagger when you smith for him, in case you equip it before the worn equipment interface becomes available. Okay, so here we go. Here's the ninja fixes. A new lunar spell called Spinflex has been added with 81 magic requirement after completion of the Dream Mentor quest. A permanent grappling hook can now be made with a mithril crossbow, 5 mithril bars, and a mithril grapple. This can be added to the tool belt. Added a green system message when an aura comes off cooldown. Erahim, Dorak, Guthan, Kirill, Torag, and Vrak, the Bubblehead pets, now act as familiar overrides. God Wars Dungeon 2 achievement path has been added. An auto extend aura with Visiwax feature has been added to the aura management interface. A message to display when an aura has come off cooldown toggle has been added to the aura management interface. Aura management interface will no longer stop the keybinds from working. Cosmetic overrides of task items that have been added to the wardrobe keepsake items have been also removed and a key refunded. Keybinds have been added to the Grand Exchange interface. Numbers 1 through 8 will open the corresponding offer slot or attempt to buy if empty. Control plus 1 through 8 will open the corresponding offer slot or attempt to sell if empty. 9 will retrieve any lent item. I will collect all to inventory. B will collect all to bank. King Black Dragon and Giant Mole now have boss health bars during their encounters. The Giant Mole health bar will display after its tutorial is completed. More aura information is now displayed within the tooltip on the aura buff icon. Neem dupes now appear within the loot inventory when killing Ganodermic beasts. Players will no longer be able to surge escape through the dual arena. Removed the tree at Incandescent Wisp Colony. The I'm Forever Washing Shadows achievement will now display if you're finished depositing a certain type of shadow core to help track progress. The Kingdom Miscellany will now provide additional resources at midnight game time instead of 24 hours since your last collection. The Modulate aura can now be used at Telos. The Tuska's Wrath ability has been changed back from free to play to members. That's not right. The amount of money stored in the Kingdom of Miscellania coffers is now displayed in the on-screen overlay. The bank scroll bar will no longer be forced to the top when dragging an item into your inventory. The locations you can teleport with the Wilderness Sword have been added as a right-click option when worn. The skill guide will now display skill cape perks in the 99 section of the skill. The Slayer shop in Berthorpe will now correctly stock Slayer gem packs. Slayer shops will now correctly restock Slayer gem packs at midnight. The tooltip interface has been updated and reworked. The main focus of the update is to provide a more useful information to the player as well as to better future-proof the belt for additional items. Tiny Death can now be used as a familiar override. Updated the tooltip for the favorite button on Aura Management interface. When getting your first Slayer task, Gelatinous Abominations from Turiel Spraya, the Slayer counter UI is now turned on. The Enduring Galactite will now be aggressive to the player when they spawn when fighting Galactors. So the tool belt, if you guys aren't sure what I'm talking about with that one, basically how all the interfaces you can kind of scroll through, you can kind of just see everything and look at it. It now does the same thing. It goes straight into it instead of, okay, well, I want to look at this category, and you have to click on it, you have to change, and then you have to keep clicking on the button to go right, to go all the way over. Now all you have to do is you open it up, it'll show it, and you can just scroll down, and it'll show everything. So, actually a lot better than it used to be. But that'll do it for today's video, though, so thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later, guys.